The Baker Institute and the Peace and Conflict Studies program really puts a strong emphasis on being a global citizen. We encourage a lot of our international travel because really that's how people get an understanding of other cultures and other societies. When you go to a new place and get to experience different cultures, you have a deeper understanding of how you could help within that setting.
Today at the conference, I went with Dr. Abdallah and I saw Mohammed, who received the Distinguished Scholar Award in Peace Studies. It was very exciting. He talked about his travels in the world and what he's done in his career. One of my favorite takeaways was when he talked about the importance of being kind to those around you, even when you're in situations where the kindness will not be reciprocated. I think this is something we could all apply, and it'll be a great thing for me to take away to help make the world more unified and to bring peace to everyone.
So I'm an environmental policy and peace building POE, and I came to the conference to find people who are talking about the same interests that I am, environmental justice issues, just being able to combine environmental and peace is super important, and it's been hard to find places where people combine those things out in the real world because everything's interdisciplinary. But here, there's so many different panels on environmental justice, teaching environmental policy, and conflict resolution with environmental issues. It's really nice to see like-minded people and hear their research.
My name's Olivia Marie. I'm a senior at Juniata, and I have done a bunch of interdisciplinary courses here. I've really intermixed a lot of peace and conflict studies, politics, communication, and English courses as I've created my degree. So what I've liked about the ISA conference is I have been able to delve more into the gender studies aspect of my interests. I've been able to go to a lot of different programs, interesting in both gender studies, but also climate change and feminist literature. And I've really enjoyed the opportunity.
I have passions in sustainability and engineering and kind of connecting those technical skills to on more of a global scale, how are we going to combat this global climate crisis that we're experiencing right now. And I think this conference has been really excellent opportunity to be able to look at this global climate crisis that we're all experiencing from an international perspective.
Hi, my name is Riley Schaefer. I am an environmental studies student focusing on peace and conflict studies, and I am here in Montreal at the Reflecting Pool, reflecting on my experience with ISA and the panels that I have been attending. So at these panels, I am trying to understand exactly what people are trying to express through their work, and I am taking that and reflecting it myself into my ceramic artwork.
We went to the McCord Stewart Museum, and they had an entire floor dedicated to the exhibition of Indigenous culture here in Canada, and specifically in Quebec. and they talk about how many people are actually left after colonialism and how many people there were before. And the fact that that's also my own personal story, like of my family and how like my dad like came to the US. It was very emotional, but I appreciate the experience of having been able to learn about that, like here in Canada, and see how it intersects with Indigenous experiences in South America.
In a lot of Indigenous communities, reconciliation is a big part of the culture and the ways of life. And so for us to be here at this conference and be around all these people, you know, there's not to say that we as students didn't work hard to have this opportunity, but at the same time, we come from such a privileged place of being able to be here and being on, you know, land that was taken from colonialism, and how there's still implications and impact of that today for communities here. And so the fact that there's so many sessions focused on decolonization and the First Nations and all that just speaks a lot to how very much still alive these issues are today.
It was an emotional roller coaster, but I definitely appreciate having been granted the experience to go through it.
It was nice to be able to be a part of the conversation, and now I feel like I could email these people and contact them and really get their input. They were planning already for, I think, the next ISA, a panel, and that my work would be interesting to include in it because I was touching on another subject. So I felt confident that my work here and my experiences wouldn't end there, that this would be a continuation on my learning and exploring where I could continue in past graduation.
We talked about our capstone work and how we can improve it and how we can just get the word out about sustainable fashion as well. So it was a really interesting conversation, and I really enjoyed talking to other professors that, you know, I wish we could have them at Juniata for like guest lectures or something, but yeah, I'm glad I got that experience.